When Umar gains consciousness, do you want to know what the first thing was that he said? Imagine you've just been stabbed. You're about to die. Your intestines are hanging out. Do you know what the first thing was that he said? He said, "Asalla nas." He said, have the people prayed? His concern was, have the people pray? They said, yes, Amir al-Mu'minin. He said, good. لا حظ في الإسلام لمن ترك الصلاة. He said, because there's no place in Islam for a person who leaves the prayer. Then he said to his son, Abdullah, he said, get me up. I want to pray. His son said, Dad, look at you. Your guts are hanging out. Relax, take it easy. Fear Allah as much as you can. You don't have to stand. You can sit down and pray. He says, I said, get me up. I want to pray standing up. We'll take the first opportunity. A little sprain in the ankle, we sit on the floor. They try to pick him up, but he falls back down. When he realizes he genuinely can't stand, he says, I'll pray sitting down then. He says, bring me the water. His guts are hanging out. Blood is leaking out of him. He's dying. They bring the wudu, water, and he does it. And he prays his Salatul Fajr. When he prayed his Salatul Fajr, they wanted to bring him some juice. The juice was the same color as blood. When he drank it, it seemed like the juice was pouring out of his wound. But it was the same color as the blood. They couldn't tell. So the doctor brought him milk that is pure white. And he said, drink this. When he drank that pure white milk, it came out fresh directly from his wound, white. It was ripped open from the inside. The doctor looked at him and said, you're not going to survive, Umar. You're a dead man. And he said, had you told me anything other than that, I would have considered you to be a liar. These are his final moments. As Umar is dying, a young man comes in. He starts to praise Umar. And Umar says to him, will you say this to Allah on the day of judgment for me? Realizing the gravity of the statement, the boy turns around and leaves. Like, I'm not standing and defending no one on the day of judgment. But as he does that, Umar realizes his thobe, it's hanging below his ankles. And he says to him, Ya bunay, oh my son, irfa'a thawbak. Lift your thobe. Don't forget the sunnah of your messenger. He's dying. He's lying on the lap of his son Abdullah ibn Umar. And he says, my son, take my head off your lap and place my cheek in the dirt. His son said, why? Die in my hands. He said, because I want, when Allah looks down at me, I want him to feel pity for his slave. Maybe he might forgive me then. And the Prophet promised him Jannah. He used to say, I wish I was just a hair on the chest of Abu Bakr. And there you and I are going on like it's going to be happy days. This was a man who was famous for saying, hold yourself to account now before Allah holds you to account when your time comes. This man, if you want to look at why he died the way he died, read his biography, you will find it is nothing except for La ilaha illallah, the tawheed of Allah, worshipping Him alone. No shirk, no worshipping no graves, not carrying around no ta'weez, thinking it's going to protect you. Not making dua to no grave, to no pir, to no nothing. Directly going to Allah, worshipping Him alone, believing Him alone, not going to no fortune tellers, not doing nothing, none of that, relying upon Allah alone and the sunnah of His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. That was his life. And these are the two pillars. If you want anything from you to be accepted, you do it solely for the sake of Allah, you worship Him alone, and you do it according to the sunnah of His messenger. Next week, you're going to have people up and down East London celebrating the Mawlid. Tell me, could you love the Prophet? Did you love the Prophet more than Abu Bakr? No, you damn didn't. Did Abu Bakr celebrate the Mawlid? Did Umar? They had more ikhlas and sincerity than you. They did. But the reason they didn't celebrate the Mawlid, there was loads of things they could have done, is because they didn't go outside that which the Prophet set for them. You want to go outside and do protests for Palestine. Did the Prophet do it? Could he have done it? No, he didn't. He did da'wah. Don't say protesting is da'wah. Da'wah is how the messenger did it. You don't go outside that. And so on. But you live your life according to these two pillars, the tawheed of Allah and the sunnah of the messenger, and you will die upon la ilaha illallah.